Today, we're talking about how to stop creating content that looks fine on the outside, but doesn't really show the full depth of your work. And instead, create content that really reflects your true genius because you have range, you have depth. You're not just talking about like 3 tips to X, Y, and Z, and that's how your clients actually get results. No, we're going to see how also to integrate in this your authority so people see you as the one in your industry and your content is really a reflection of the work you do with your clients. Hi, I'm Gwen, the strategy queen. I help coaches and experts build evergreen sales funnel, launches strategies, and advanced sales system that bring in consistent income without having to sell 24/7 or be glued to your phone. And today we are talking about how to build content that doesn't just fill your feed, but actually reflects your genius and makes sales. So people, they stop seeing you as just one of the other people that are on the internet and start recognizing you as the one and actually buy from you because they're like, finally someone is saying this thing, finally someone is expressing what I wanted to say or what I was thinking. And I didn't hear anyone else saying this. So here's what I see happening all the time. You are brilliant at what you do. You are. And you've got experience. You've got results. And by the way, like if this is not something that you feel like you have, brilliance, experience, result, and a real gift, you're not going to make sales because if you don't see it in yourself, like people are not going to see it. Yeah. So it is another episode, another work on doing on your identity and recognizing your brilliance and bringing it forward. But like I am talking to you today, if you do see yourself as brilliant, if you understand that you've got experience, that you delivered results to your clients or even just to yourself, if you're at the very beginning of your business. But like when I look at your content, none of that really shows. I don't see all of your experience. I don't see all of the nuance in the work that you do. I don't see the depth of the conversation that we could have. You're talking about the same topic over and over and over again. You're just trying to like change the language here and there, but you're just talking about the same stuff all the time because you think being known for one thing means repeating it endlessly. And so you're trying to find new angles on the same point. So you're like, okay, I want people to buy this. So I'm going to speak about this. And then, okay, let's find another angle to speak about the same thing. And it feels forced and it feels boring. And I'm saying this because like I've seen this over and over again. I've seen this in myself like years ago, being like, okay, this is what I'm doing. What are all the different angles to talk about the same thing? And being so bored about my content. And of course, like people are also bored looking at the content, but I see it also in my clients. Okay, the clients that I have inside the mastermind, like when they join, I see it in themselves. And once they get it and they finally bring in their nuance, their range, their genius and depth in their content, it changes. Everything changes. And of course, like the amount of sales and people DMing them is changing drastically. And instead of showing your range, then what happens is that your content just look flat, just look one dimensional. Okay. And the thing is that you are not one dimensional. You actually, and I kind of dislike the word multi-passionate because I almost feel that when for me someone talk about multi-passionate, it means that we are not super good at one thing. Because I really have in my mind, like since I've been at university, I have a flashback talking about that actually like at uni. And my mentor saying when I was in my PhD, like my mentor's telling me like you can be great at good at so many things, but you can be excellent just at one thing. And I think that excellence can't be at everything. We can't be excellent at everything, okay? But I don't think that we are necessarily multi-passionate. Like for me, for example, I feel like I'm driven in the different season of my life towards different things, but I would not say I have multiple passion. So that's why like this word, for example, doesn't necessarily reflect how I think about it. So I prefer to talk about like dimension. And I feel like I am a multidimensional woman, but I am not multi-passionate. And maybe that comes from my mom, who loves to like talk about each word. How scary it is to see ourselves in our mom, just for a second, by the way. But the truth here is that if your content doesn't reflect your excellence, okay, the thing that you're excellent about, people, they won't assume it's there. But I want you to understand that there is nuance in your excellence. It is not you are excellent at doing something, and this is the only thing that you do with your clients. Okay. It doesn't work like this. And I think it doesn't work like this because also all of you are creating transformational businesses, not transactional businesses. So you don't sell a template to someone and they integrate this, in their business. Like, you are creating a transformation. And because you want to have a transformational business, people, to have a transformation, they need more than one thing. Yeah. This is why, like, we have multiple things in our programs to help with the transformation. You probably have a method for your transformation, but you have also different ways of helping them actually implement this. So the solution here, I think, is that what I feel is content that will reflect your genius is content that shows your clarity in your genius, that shows your depth and your range. Like, what is the range on your excellence? So it's not about being broad, being random, or just also talking about the same thing repeatedly all the time, like hitting a wall almost, and it's because if not, like that's very boring for everyone. It's really about showing the different layers of your genius in a way that positions you as the authority. And it starts with actually knowing what your genius is, obviously. And so here I'm going to share a few points with you. But before I go into this, like the first thing that I wanted to talk about is actually like to know your genius. And this is something that we are talking about a lot this week inside Becoming the One. If you're not inside Becoming the One, like, you have to be inside Becoming the One. This is a 1 week experience where you have access to like 3 calls. And even if you join after, and this will be available, this offer to join as a pre-recorded offer, because it is so freaking good, you are going to understand what is your genius. And so we have a call of like really owning what sets us apart, like who we are, what is our genius, and how to transmit this to people, how visually people can see this, how can we transmit our genius inside our brand. And then we have daily riff that I'm recording to help you implement this in your business. So if you're not in Becoming the One, yes, come in Becoming the One. So you have to know your genius, okay? Because what I see also is that most people, they can't create content that reflects their genius because they haven't actually articulated what their genius is. So here's an exercise that we did inside Becoming the One that you can try right now. And of course, if you were inside Becoming the One, I feel like you will have a lot more understanding on how to do this. But let's start this here anyway. I want you to ask yourself, like, what are you owning about yourself that sets you apart? And I'm going to give you my example. What are you owning about yourself that sets you apart? And so you're going to reflect on this, and you can always like press pause, of course, and think about what sets me apart. What sets me apart? And then you're going to write what's your eyes closed genius statement. And inside Becoming the One, I gave a lot of example for different people, like relationship coach, for yoga teachers, for ad screen, like for a little bit of everyone type that we had inside the experience. And so your eyes closed genius statement is the thing you could say without notes that sums up like who you are and why people hire you. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of what I'm owning and then my genius statement. So I'm owning that I've built 3 multi-6-figure businesses in totally different industries: yoga, postpartum health, and business strategy. And I still run them, except one of those businesses now, actually, while raising my son, living on a tiny island in Indonesia, building 2 houses. My gift is taking big visions and turning them into smart, simple systems that make money flow without me having to be on 24/7. I'm owning it. That's why I make money every single month from my other businesses, even without doing anything from those businesses. So my genius statement, like the eyes closed statement, multidimensional women come to me because I've built 3 multi 6-figure businesses in completely different industries. So you see, like, your genius statement start first. It's not like I help statement, by the way. Like, your genius statement start with who you are helping. For me, multidimensional woman, I explained to you before, like, why multidimensional is so important to me, because we have many things that we love doing. Like, the women who work with me love to do different things. So they come to me because, and then you insert your authority, because I've built 3 multi 6-figure businesses in completely different industries, selling through, and then I say my frameworks. And so for you, after putting your authority here, you can add what are your frameworks. And so here I could add through, I'm selling through high energy launches and effortless evergreen funnels. Okay. That could be like something that I put even in my authority. And then I can add more, actually, my framework. So I'm the one who can help them. And then I say with my frameworks that I have from my core offers, create demand driven offers, kick-ass messaging, and sales system that keeps sales flowing year round. And I could even here use my actual framework names, which would be possible here. Like, so I have them create their 7-figure offer ecosystem, take my money messaging, alter ego sales systems, that's with like launching and funnels, and a CEO mindset. Yeah, you see, like, integrating here your framework. So, and then we say, what is the result? So they can stop reacting to what the industry tells them to do and step into being the woman who decide what her business, her money, and her legacy look like. Because for me, like, this is what is about, like, building, like, when we say a freedom-based business is not like take your laptop and go everywhere work. That's not how I see myself having freedom. I see myself having freedom because I can decide what my business, my money, my legacy look like is doing. And when you know this, okay, when you know these two things, like what you are owning and also what is your genius statement, your content is going to get sharper instantly, because you're going to stop creating a random post and start creating content that shows people why you are the one with this range. So you see, like, there's so many things that I have said in the range. I can talk about making multi 6-figures. I can talk about my 7 figures ecosystem of offers. I can talk about funnel, invisible strategies, high energy launches, take my money messaging. There's so many things that I can talk about, not just one thing. That's very important. So now we can go into our second point, which is showing the range of our genius. So how do we do this? If you only ever talk about one angle of your work, you will get stuck sounding repetitive for them and also for you. Range is really what makes you magnetic, and it proves that you are excellent. For example, if your work is about, like me, like I do help all of my clients, if I'm honest, creating funnels. Okay, all of my clients end up creating funnels because they see that I make a lot of money like this, and they see each other, let's say in my mastermind and in other of my containers, everyone is making money once they start implementing this. So of course, like, when they start implementing the way that I make funnels, which is, by the way, not the way that anyone else is doing funnels that I have seen at the moment, and I've studied with almost everyone who is creating funnels. So something that is really important here is to look at this, like, what can I put in my nuance, in what I want to talk about, that is not only one thing. So for me, I don't talk only about funnels, even though I am the strategy queen, that all of my clients do funnels, and I found that it's the easiest way to make money, to be honest. it is not all I talk about. It's not all I talk about because I have range, I have depth, I have a lot of other conversation that we talk about. In my containers, we don't talk about funnels every day. No. So this is important also, that if you have offers and you have, like, let's say a signature offer with a group program, and if you don't, like, I would almost encourage you to have one, just to see like all the amazing conversation that you have with your clients and bring this to life in your content. But if you have that, see, what are you talking about? What are you talking about on a daily basis with your clients? And how are they going to get results? It's probably not just like talking again and again and again about this very repetitive thing, right? So bring those conversations forward. Show your range to your people. The other point that I wanted to talk about in your content, if you want people to be able to see your journeys, is to pull back the curtain. Your clients, they want to see how you think, okay, as much as what you teach. Okay, it's cool, like I see what you teach. Okay, bold opinions, I see you teach it this way. But share what you're doing behind the scenes, like the frameworks you are using for yourself, for your clients. Is it the same for your clients and you? Is it the same for all of the clients? What choices and decisions are you making as a CEO? Or if for you, like you're not a business coach, like what are the decisions you are making as a mom, you are making as an employee avoiding burnout? I don't know. But that's what makes people trust you are excellent, because they can see also how your brain is working. Something also that is really important is to not mix up depth and relatability. Stop trying to be so relatable. I almost want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry because so many people are saying you have to be relatable, but I think you have to be you. Okay, you have to be you, and some part of you is going to be relatable. But like, let's be honest. If you were, and I actually don't have anyone in my audience who is like this, but let's say if you were a fitness coach, if you were a fitness coach, yeah, I actually have some clients that are fitness coach. So, okay, you're a fitness coach and you have women lose 20 kilos. You don't have those 20 kilos probably on anymore. Yeah, maybe you lost 20 kilos, you have people do that, but you're not relatable. Okay. And that's also why people are going to hire you. You are not relatable. Relatability gets you followers, gets you people being like, oh, like she's doing the same as me, you know, like that's cool. We are at the same level. We're doing the same thing. But authority is what is going to get you clients. Okay. So let's say like when I'm relatable is I could be saying, everyone, I just destroyed all of my funnels, which is something I actually recently did, and I'm rebuilding them. Come with me, look at what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Yeah, you know, that's definitely something. And this will be relatable, but they still look at me as an authority because I have already positioned and explained, well, not over explained, but explained, and they know through proof that they have seen that this is something I have been doing for 5 years. So even though I'm starting again some funnels, I'm not learning funnels. Yeah. People hire leaders. They don't hire the twins. Okay. They don't hire you because you are at the same level, you're relatable on everything. No. But sometimes, like when we look at relatable, people try that where they're at is relatable, which this is not the same. What you could do that is relatable is like, oh, let's say we all have the same water bottle. That's relatable. Yeah, that's kind of stuff. Okay, get relatable. Let's say share that you drink coffee, only, I don't know, expensive coffee, or you like matcha, you don't drink coffee or whatever, you know. Share that makes you relatable on a lifestyle, maybe level, but not on what people hire you for. Don't be relatable on this. If people hire you because you're mindset coach, the mindset that you have is not relatable to the mindset that they have. That's why they hire you. They want something similar. This is so important because you see, when you are going to be able to articulate what you do, to have a very clear positioning that stands out compared to anyone in your industry, you are going to have a category of one business. Yeah. And once you are able to articulate what makes you a category of one, when you are able to articulate your ideas, when you are able to create content that convert because it is linked to your zone of genius, but also shows your range, your depth, you are going to multiply your sales 100%. Imagine all the money you could be making if you had content that every single time you post is making you sales. Yeah. This is exactly the work that we are going to do inside Blow Their Mind, Messaging and Content Minimind. I haven't shared this anywhere. And when I was thinking about starting like this podcast, I was just like, oh, that talks so well about what we are going to do. Am I going to talk about it or not? So I decided, you know what, I'm going to talk about it here and only here for today. But if you ever like, and it's not even like a if, like I know you felt like your content doesn't reflect like exactly what you want to say, exactly who you are, exactly like the depth of what you do. What is the depth of what you do? You want to learn and explore like, yeah, what is the depth of what I do? And how can I express more of this? Because I know that what I do is not the same as Emily next to me, but how do I articulate this? This is the work we're going to do inside the Blow Their Mind Minimind, because you are going to blow your people minds. When they're going to read your content, they're going to be like, oh my God, she is in my head. Like, what is she selling? Like, I absolutely need to understand what she's doing and doing. Inside, we're going to really clarify your genius and your positioning. And this is the work that we're already inside doing, becoming the one. And from becoming the one, what we are building up, we are going to create the content, the messaging that is also going to go on your sales page in your emails. So it's not just like the content, because this is how you make sales. If you have an online business, you make sales with your words. And if you are not making sales right now, it's because of the words that you are saying. They're not matching. Send me a DM if you want to know about it. And I'm going to give a little bonus actually, like for people who message me and you say, Blow Their Mind podcast. Okay. I'm going to give a very special bonus only to those who DM me this, okay? And I'm going to send you the details. And if you join, I'm going to give you a special bonus just because you come from this podcast episode. And I'm going to not say this in any other places. So I will now. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode on how to build content that reflects your genius. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And don't forget to DM me to learn more about Blow Their Mind, content and messaging Minimind. Bye, everyone.